while I was gone.
You were gone for so long. Oh no. Oh, there it is. Okay. You were gone for so long, Jesse, that of course we
What are you
talked
talking
about
about?
you.
And
Yeah,
that's
well, how
okay.
could we not? Actually, the
I'm
before we even
privileged.
before we get what are you doing?
I'm looking for my fucking
Now he dropped it
list of
outside.
shit.
Oh Jesus. Oh man,
And the
we're
role
already doing that.
of Mike will be played by Jesse tonight, apparently. Jesus
Oh
Christ,
man.
where the fuck did my list go?
Oh
You know what I'm
jeez.
hoping for is that
So-
the humidity is bad enough there that like we just slowly see the windows fog throughout the.
Nope. Now we can't hear you. You broke your microphone.
God, man.
Oh, no.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Aaron knows a lot about this issue, so if Aaron, if you'd like to take over and guide Jesse through.
Oh, my muted.
You want to plug it in.
Nope.
Make
How
sure
about-
Yeah.
There you go.
He's back.
He's
Got it.
back.
Yeah, well, when I dropped it, apparently I fucking hit the mute button.
We'll wait.
Okay. Well, I just wanted 2 seconds to see if I could find. God damn it.
You didn't mute it that time though.
How's my crotch sound?
Good.
All right, whatever. We're operating without the list.
Oh no! How are you gonna
Oh,
make
going
a clear
straight
and
from
concise
memory, huh?
rant without a list?
I don't know. God forbid.
So I was gonna say though, because you're talking about your list, the first thing I wanted to say was that I wildly guessed the weight of your vehicle, and I was pretty close. But what I didn't catch was the fact that you weigh with everything you own and every human, dog, anything that lives in your house. So it's actually a little lighter because you always talk about how heavy it is, and it is heavy.
It is
But-
heavy.
But also
Right.
you're working with like 500 pounds of living things and all your stuff
Well-
and all your fuel and all your water and
Yeah,
Well, I mean that's
that
mostly how we
was
use
one
it.
of the things
so...
on my list.
I mean, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was one of the things on my list I was going to bring up is that the reason that I am so heavy is because I do bring a lot of shit.
Yeah. You are overprepared, Jesse.
Hey, and to my defense, I think that every single one of the people here has benefited from my overpreparedness.
Uh-oh.
I think. I remember I had eye drops for you one time, Sean.
I've eye drops?
Yeah, you came to me in the outboard and you're like, "Hey, do you have eye drops?" I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, "Of course you do."
Oh, it was for, it was for the kid. That's why. Yep. That makes
So,
sense.
My
I mean-
overpreparedness does come in handy.
It does. Yeah. No, I'm always happy to have the overprepared friends, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to say anything about it.
No, and rightfully so. I do have potentially
Got a lot of
too
shit.
much shit.
You know, this is what it is.
Borderline.
I weighed my rig. I think we've talked about this before, but I weighed my rig after the swap, and it weighs like 250 pounds less, which I was really excited about. But for some reason, I thought it weighed a lot less than it actually does. In my mind, I had it almost 1,000 pounds lighter, and then I had to like go back and look at my notes, and I was mistaken. It weighs what it weighs, and that's fine, but it was more than I thought. It's like when you get on the scale and you're just like, oh, whoa, that's not the number I expected.
So what was that number?
It weighs in right now with the tent and fridge in there, but not full of a child and two dogs and a chainsaw and eye drops and all of those things. Just normal stuff, like a half a tank of gas, no people. It's at 57. So,
Okay.
and that it weighed 59.50 before actually without the tent, I think. So
Still
So-
not as much as Mike's OBS.
nothing will ever weigh that much.
Is Jesse was
You
the
guys
is
weighing
the
them?
Tacoma still under the GVW though?
Yes.
Oh, so you'd be fine in Australia.
Okay. So you're fine in Australia.
That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Until
Aaron-
I start towing a trailer.
Yeah.
right.
Aaron, to answer your question, just like the weigh station scales, like the one that I did for both weights on the most recent one for the Land Cruiser is the one that's like, just south of Bend.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I kind of thought, but wasn't sure.
Yep. And it's not a lightweight
what's the
vehicle
rest
by
of
any
the
means, but it's okay.
Top your
okay.
top of your head. Let's go.
The
Okay.
local dude that's got the one on,
Okay,
Rattle
so
them
we
off.
had
oh God, the list.
the list is gone. There was a note that Anna had said that I don't bring snacks, and I want to go on record and say that's a load of shit. I do bring snacks.
Are they
I
all
bring lots
freeze
of
dried?
snacks. No. Well, I
Okay.
mean, do you consider potato chips freeze dried? Because they're
I
fried,
mean, not-
but they're in a bag.
No, they're not freeze dried.
That's not
They're
freeze-dried.
fried.
No,
Yeah.
I bring Oreos
That's a
every
cooked
time.
potato.
I bring
Hmm.
chips. I bring cheese, Triscuits, wheat thins, and deviled ham. Every time. But
Every time. That's the list.
Every time? That's you just have
No,
the same list?
There's no moving off of that list. It's just
No, it's literally
That's
that
strange,
list.
but okay.
It's just like one of those things that I default to. But the problem is, in Anna's defense, though, is right now the way I have the truck set up is everything's up here. So snacks don't come down until we get camping. So if she wants like
But wait a
truck
minute. Yeah,
snack,
you need road snacks. That's
that's my
I can
fault.
see why she's upset.
Yes,
Mhm.
and I just want to clarify it. I do bring snacks. They're just on
They're
top
just
of the
not for the road.
Well, you have about.
truck. Mhm.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be correcting that because that is a legitimate concern and a legitimate, criticism
Yeah,
towards
it's a
me.
fair criticism. Yeah.
It is a fair criticism.
Yeah.
Another one I had is that Sean, you said I had poor taste, and we
Wait a minute, what was this in-
your
can you give me the
lead
context?
talking about the new Lexus, the new GX, and you said, "Oh man, I wish Jesse was here because he has poor taste about that."
Can we play that back?
Yes, playback clip. Returning to.
All right, go ahead and air your grievance, and I'll try my best to defend
love that
myself. Okay.
I absolutely love it.
All right. I mean, I like it too, so we agree.
Yeah, we agree.
So maybe-
So I guess we both have poor taste.
That seems possible. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Unfortunate.
So now we're through that. What do we got next? What's on the list?
I think I don't remember all the other stuff. I think the last one was on the podcast that aired this week. You had mentioned me and the Misfits,
Me.
and
Oh yeah, because you like the new fits. You
There
like
is
both.
I understand that there's a separation between the two. I thoroughly enjoy Michael Graves, and that's okay.
Sure.
But
Is it,
Danzig
though?
still Danzig reigns supreme, and I understand it.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean, at least as long as you can say that, that's something. But I don't know. I don't want to go on record with an opinion here, but
But you're going to go on record with it.
I'm going to go on record saying that Michael Graves sucks.
Yeah, this is recorded. So
Hey, Michael
sorry.
Graves as
Now-
a person sucks.
Oh, I have no idea who. I know nothing about him.
Oh,
I know
he's a
some
problem.
about. Oh my God! Are you
Did you
kidding
not
me?
Yeah,
Did you
just
miss
him
that
Oh,
out.
whole thing?
great! Yeah.
like right at the beginning of the pandemic, he like made a post on social media, like Proud Boy, all that, like was all about it.
Well, I'm sure that was terrible. Whatever that was. God dang.
So yeah, That's all I had to say. I think those are all the grievances I had to air.
Okay. Well, that was pretty good. That was way lighter than I thought it was going to be.
No. You guys have been doing great without me. Honestly, I kind of like, I
Thanks.
don't know. Why have I been on this thing? I don't know.
Oh, come on, Colin, come back.
Mm-hmm.
What is there's background noise and I can't figure out what it is.
I hear it too, so I don't think it's me.
Sounds like a washing machine. Oh, it was Colin because it's gone now. Damn.
I will say, and continuing on, after not being on the podcast and still listening, it's really fun watching it develop and how much better it's becoming.
Yeah, it definitely has gotten better. And I mean, I think I guess if this comes up on the actual podcast, we've been talking about what's the right way to say this? We've been talking about, being a little more consistent and like having a little bit better, like not set of rules, but like set of guidelines that we're following, which is a hot topic as of today, which won't matter, I'm sure, in 3 days, but right now it matters. And I think that some of those things are how we're getting there, right? Like some of those things are really, really good. We just have to make sure that we're all, remembering to still be ourselves. And that's why it works, I think. The last one, I don't listen to them because I don't really love listening to myself very much. But I listened to the last one on my way home and like I listened to most of it. Most of the episode was super interesting enough, even though I had already been there for me to listen through, which was kind of cool. That's like the first one that I've done that. I think maybe the one with Anna, which hasn't come out yet, I might too, because I thought that one was really interesting.
It has come out.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's been out. And honestly, it was probably the best.
Huh. Well, good for us. Good for us.
Yeah.
It
was really interesting.
Still in the room. Oh, crap. That's weird. I wonder what... there's nothing I can do. Colin's the one that can do that. Colin just sent a message that said he's still in the room, but we can't see him, apparently. We're sure that audio is out, not just the video, because I never watched the video.
I never watch video.
Oh, man, how did I miss that? Downloaded, Campfire Passport, Safety Third. What's the name of it? Oh, yep, right there. I totally missed that. Good. All right, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't watched the last two yet either.
Well, I guess we keep going. Pressing on. We had like that last one. We had that crazy middle ground where we just stopped, and I'm sure Colin had to edit out so much, but the stuff that made it in was funny. I thought just our little like we're stuck here while Mike's waiting on Dino Nuggets time was actually funny. It turns out there was a lot of dead air. There was a lot more dead air. I'll tell you that.
I love that guy to death. I love him.
Everybody loves Mike. SecretRSVP@gmail.com.
RSVP. Oh,
there
was one more thing on the list.
Great.
On that list was I wanted to elaborate on Steve's diagnosis of the way I had felt about what I had done with the Tacoma. And he had
I did wonder about that.
Potentially I had regretted doing the JDM or not JDM, JD Fab kit.
Yep.
I don't regret it. I just explained to him that I don't think it's the right path for him.
Did we lose Jesse too?
I'm here.
Don't think it's worth it? Is that what you're...
Oh shit, did we lose me? No.
What a shit sandwich. I got you now.
Oh,
I can see it.
I was just saying that I don't think that what I told Steve is I don't think that it is worth it for him.
Mm.
Steve has what Steve needs to focus on, and focusing on a bunch of mechanical shit that you have to monkey with is not his jam.
Yeah, I mean, we've all got our spots. I totally get that.
Yep. And possibly, if I could go back, maybe I'd rather spend the time instead of applying the relocation kit into just retubbing my inner fender wells.
Well, didn't that, I forget the guy's name, the Marlin Crawler guy with that extra cab truck, didn't he he had to move an ECU and do all sorts of crazy shit to put 40s on that thing at first.
Yeah, there's a lot
That
of
seemed
stuff
excessive. I mean, I get that on a old truck, a 4th gen Hilux or something.
Oh my god.
But a new truck, I don't understand that. I made that joke before we started recording, and I was really hoping to find a way to get it in here, and I'm really glad that came up, that opportunity came up, and I got to land that plane.
It's okay. You did.
Anyways, an older vehicle, an older Toyota pickup, if you will. And I could see maybe tubbing that stuff, but on a new one, it seems like a big undertaking. It seems like a bigger undertaking than that subframe, but I didn't do it, so I don't know.
I lost you guys for a second, but it doesn't matter. I know that what you were saying was making fun of me, so that's okay.
Oh no, that part I was being really serious. I was saying that I thought tubbing it was, more work than putting that subframe in. Or not
I think they're equivalent work. It's just
okay.
What are you willing to deal with? And aligning it is kind of a pain in the ass, and you have to find somebody who's willing to put up with it.
Is that because you did factory lowers with it instead of what Colin had with the long travel or mid travel?
No, because Colin had the same problem. The way that the cams are designed, they're a teardrop shape. They're not just a cylinder or a circle. So every time you take it to somebody to get an alignment, they're like, "Oh, that's not right. I'm not gonna do it." It's like just fucking turn it until it gets almost close, and then we're good.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, no, it's got to be in the green. It's like, you're not going to get it in the green. It's not the way this truck works.
God. This is while they're charging you for a 4-wheel alignment and never touching the back of the truck.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
God,
that is my favorite.
Fuck you, Les Schwab. I'm going to say it on the record. Fuck you.
Oh, God. There goes the mic.
Yeah, sorry. I let my anger chop.
Yeah, your emotions took over. Yeah, when I got the Waggy aligned recently, so it was right before going to the dunes. It turns out my so not the I don't know, the not the drag link, but the other one, the one that's that connects the two. I'm at a loss for words at this point for what it is. That's
tie rod.
Just the tie rod. That one is too short, and so they couldn't get the toe perfect. So apparently, it's just slightly too short, and they didn't want to have. And I looked at it, and there's a lot of threads showing. So.
Oh no!
I could see why they were like, we don't want to rotate this any further. So it's really close. It's not like it's outlandish or anything. It's like 0.3 or something like that, 0.2. It's almost there, but they were like, we don't want to get any closer than that. It's like, okay, whatever, that's fine. It's good enough.
It's tough on
a little bit toed in anyway, just
slight toe out.
Slight toe out.
eighth toe out. I mean, everybody's got a preference, but an 1/8 inch either way is kind of the thing a lot of times. So toe in makes it twitchier, if I remember right, and toe out makes it more slack feeling. I think. God, someone Google that, because I'm definitely wrong.
No,
I'm definitely. You know what? Strike that from the record. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Nope. Sorry, Sean. It's recorded.
I don't know.
Someone message Luke.
Yeah, Luke. I'd like to phone a friend, please.
It's Celebrity Squares.
Yeah. I'm dealing with. I was tinkering with my shift linkage issues or shift cable issues this during the day today, and I put a universal column shift linkage in there as opposed to the Trailblazer shift cable that I had before, which is awesome. And it does make really nice positive engagement, so I'm really hopeful. But I already cut it, and I definitely cut it too short. I measured it with my hands. And I was like, this is totally fine. I think it was in neutral and not park, because it's not so totally fine now. And I think there's some adjustment in there. Like, I don't think that but I also lopped a little bit off the other side, just willy-nilly freehand, just because I thought it was like I needed to section that like length one way or the other. And I was like, it's a little long anyways. Cut that off. And then I got it in there, and now I have reverse neutral drive and third. So that's okay. And if I can get it to do park through drive, I'll be pretty happy for a minute, and then, keep adjusting it. But I don't know why anybody tries to use a cable in that scenario instead of the linkage. It doesn't make any sense to me. The only thing I can think of is you maybe would want to use a cable if you didn't do the first modification that I did that I shouldn't have done, which is move the shift lever to one side as opposed to the other on the Toyota side. But I don't know. I'm working through that. I drove it to the barber shop. I don't know. It's fine.
Whoa.
Yeah, big drive.
You made it.
Yeah.
You made it to the dunes, though, right?
I did make it to the dunes. Oh yeah, that's something we should probably talk about. So we will talk about. Yeah, we'll talk about the Dunes trip, but I guess, we'll just talk about the Dunes trip. I'm going to tell you my part of the Dunes trip. Colin left like on Thursday, right, Colin? Thursday morning?
Yep.
Aaron left on like Thursday midday or end of day. Oh, no, you went Friday morning. Yeah. And then Mike and I left on Friday afternoon. I got out in a time that was okay. Mike was just sitting around waiting for me, and I finally was like, okay, I'm done with work. And so we left, and we went to the meetup spot, and I had driven the most stupid route through town and hit every little bit of traffic that I could hit, because it's Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. And so it took forever. I was happy that nothing overheated, because I hadn't really stressed it that hard on the temperature. So I was like, I don't know, maybe it'll be fine. It was, which is good. But I got to I got to the spot where I went to get gas, and I went to put it in park, and it was like, nope, we're not going in park. We are in drive. That is the gear that you want. And I was like, no. And then my shifter was just a floppy mess. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's wrong with that, but that's exciting for a 5-hour drive or 4-hour drive. So I turned it off. Mike is the most helpful person I know. He came over. He's like, hey, how's it going? I was like, it's not going great. I got a little issue. I don't know what it is yet. And he throws out 3 suggestions right away. And I was like, Mike, I need a second. Like, I just sat in traffic for 15 minutes. It won't shift. I need a minute. And he's like, okay. And I said, could you just give me like 5? Yep. He just like walks away. Like, okay, loud and clear. Leaves. I put fuel in it. I look underneath, everything looks fine. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. The cable had popped out of its bracket a few times. And I was like, well, it probably just popped out of the bracket again. Tried to kind of reach up there. The exhaust is right there. It's really hot. So I was like, nope. Well, I don't have my neutral safety switch hooked up yet. luckily. So I was like, well, it's got a torque converter, whatever. I'll just start it with a brake on and it'll be fine. So I did. Everything's good. Moved it over to where Mike was, parked it, looked underneath. Yeah, sure enough, the shift cable had fallen off. So I tell Mike, great, we're going to have to fix this, whatever. He says, hey, why don't you go in and do your grocery shopping and I'll take a look at it. And then maybe I'll fix it. Tell me what it is. So I showed him how I had fixed it before. I send myself off into the grocery store to go get my food. While I'm in there, I get a phone call that says, hey, it is popped out of the bracket. That's definitely a problem. But also you've burned a hole through it. I was like, okay, cool. And he goes, can we just go to like Napa and get one of these? And I said, I doubt it. I don't think that cable is that easy to get. I ordered it online. I have no idea. And he goes, all right, let me see what I can do. I pay for my food. I come back out. He's like jerry-rigged this scenario where he used, genius, by the way, a hose clamp to hold it up to one of the brake lines to keep it away from the exhaust. And then he had started wrapping zip ties around it to get it stuck in the bracket. It turns out, something I found out like after I got home, there's a clip that I had missing. And there's a clip in that shift cable that goes up through these two little prongs and it holds it in the bracket. Really simple thing, but I don't know how I missed it, but I didn't have it. So anyways, Mike throws a zip tie around it. We get it. It works. Great. Bingo. Drive to a few places and then to the dunes. Everything's good, except the truck will not downshift at speed. Just won't do it. It'll get itself into fourth gear at like 15 miles an hour, and then that's it. So I was using the shifter to shift down into third and pass people, and it was going great. Everything was fantastic. I got to the dunes, and Colin, did the shift cable break again as soon as I got there, or was that after? Yeah, it was as soon as I got there. I think everything was fine when
You didn't drive at all.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So we got to the air down spot. I aired down. We got on the sand. I started figuring out that I didn't think my center locker worked, but it does. I found out after, although I still haven't verified that my lockers work, but side thing. Drove in. Everything was good. Went to back up to go to the dune spot. Got it in reverse. That was it. Again, just like the gas station, like it was in reverse and that's the gear that it had. So I got into place. We spent the weekend and it was awesome. And we'll talk about that. And then I went to fix it and it did not work. So I drove home in drive only. Again, good thing I could start it in gear. But then I couldn't downshift into third for the drive home, which really sucked. So whatever, project cars, right? They're super fun. Colin, how'd the Dunes trip go from your end?
From my end, I went Thursday, mainly because that's when I had reserved the spot for, and if you're not there by midnight on the first reservation day, they can give it away to somebody. Not that I felt like somebody else was going to come in and take it, because we've never had that kind of issue before. But I just figured, I'll go. But I took my sweet ass time, left pretty late in the day on Thursday, and I got over there, probably like a hour or two before dark. So, so that was all fine. And for the first time ever, and this happened more than once, as we found out, someone decided to drive through camp that
Can't
night
believe
when I was
that.
already up in the tent. So I couldn't even look out the window fast enough to see what it was or who it was. But they had driven between my parked car and the lake, which is not a large area. And then we made it even smaller with all the rest of us there. And somebody did it again, which
I'm pretty sure they hit Mike's tire on his Jeep too,
yeah.
Which I don't know. There were no tracks to substantiate that claim, but there was definitely a mark on the tire. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah. I don't know.
Were you guys up on the hill, kind
Yeah,
of backed up against the lake
same
too?
same spot as usual. The only difference on the first night, because I was there by myself, I had pulled in like parallel, like the same direction as the road, and like so
Hmm.
the
He went hot
and
dog, not hamburger.
yeah,
It's called.
and still had somebody, and that's when the first time like I mean we've been going there for years, and never have we had someone attempt anything of the sort. We've had some weirdness,
Yeah.
but not like that. Like that was, and then to have it
Not
happen
like that.
twice, it was. I mean, they Jesse the second time they did it. You know how it's like there's that bit of a hill down to the lake behind the cars.
Yeah.
They had gone so close to that hill that if it wasn't for that bush that was like sitting right there next to the like edge, they probably would have rolled over. There was sand like pushed into the bush. So I I don't know what they were thinking, or I
They're
I don't
just
know.
being
I've just never
assholes.
experienced that. Yeah, which is weird because I mean, obviously there's assholes out there, but like,
I was gonna say, are you sure?
but like, we've
Plenty of
never-
assholes on the dunes.
not that kind of
It's
asshole.
asshole central.
Yeah. I mean, the mayor of Titty City was there, so
I forgot about that. That was what a great flag.
yeah.
We saw many flags,
Mhm.
a lot of them that we will not talk about here, but most
Sean's
most
embarrassed.
notable was oh yeah, totally. Oh, the pineapple flag? God,
Yeah, plays well with
Plays
others.
well
There was-
with others.
there was that one. Yeah.
Was it upside down?
Yes, it was, Jesse.
Oh, it must
And
have
it was
been,
on
yeah,
a
for sure.
super sweet sand rail.
It actually was, yeah.
I believe the sand rail was
yeah.
also called Nookie, if I'm remembering it correctly. So,
That seems right. That seems right.
yeah.
Yeah, those sand people, they are classy.
Mhm.
Very classy.
Classic group.
That is no. It is like the most white trash money fest that I've ever been around. It's like
Yeah.
that is just white trash hood rich. That's what it is. Sorry. But
Don't be sorry about it. Like that's literally what it is, and it's okay. I mean, to each their own. I mean, I
sure.
want to go to what's that? The AZ Fest, the Mud Fest down in Arizona.
Hmm.
Have you ever
There's a
seen
mud
that?
fest in Arizona? No, I haven't seen that.
Really weird, but they just fill this one place with water, and these square bodies go after it with built 6.0s, but they're
Yeah.
more like a 6.7. But yeah, and sitting on 42 boggers, just who can go through this mud the best? It's like, okay,
That's awesome. I mean, you don't really have to get outside of Oregon to do that, but I get it. That sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
You can go to Sweet Home.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Exactly.
Find it
Go,
there.
go the old
Yeah.
hometown.
That's right. I'd rather not. I'd rather just not do that at all. That'd be great. Aaron
my-
came with
Oh, I was just gonna say my only adversity was the smoke on the way over because of the fire, and it was raining, and so
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like it
Ooh.
was crazy smoky, like super smoky, like losing the car ahead of me in the smoke, which is
jeez.
it was pretty wild, and that's with lights on and everything. Like couldn't see like a newer F-150's taillights, and those aren't dim taillights by any means. So it was
No.
pretty surprising. I guess my car kind of had a couple of overheating but not overheating issues.
Yeah, that was weird.
Just the
It also
go
ran
really
low on
high
coolant,
and-
right?
Yeah. I checked it after the first time it did that, and I was a little curious because I do seem to have a coolant leak that I cannot seem to squash, and yeah, sure enough, it was a little low. So I figured, oh, fine, whatever. I'll just put some water in it; it'll be fine. put water in it, and it seemed okay, but it really did not like high speed in low range. It was like it was spinning it too fast for the fan clutch to allow it to engage or something like that. Because as soon as I'd let off and slow down, it would engage, and then I'd be driving, and the temps would just drop instantaneously. So I don't know if it's the fan clutch is going bad in it, or if that's just a feature that I get to deal with. So
Do you have a fan shroud on yours, or
nope.
are you like me, where you're just got a mechanical fan pointed at the radiator
Yep.
with a bunch of dead space?
Yeah. Well,
Hoorah!
I don't have a ton
Yeah.
of dead space though, because I'm not using a factory radiator. I have a giant aluminum, unfortunately, radiator, and so it like I've been informed by my local radiator technician that it is really big for what I'm using it for, and that's probably why I haven't had really any overheating issues, like in low speed, sitting in traffic on a super hot day, anything like that. It's just because the radiator's so massive. So yeah, good
Yeah.
and bad, I guess.
Jesse, do you have that scan gauge thing? Do you know what kind of temps do you run in your rig? In this one, yeah, you. You-
I've
di-
never seen it above 200.
really?
Yeah.
Mine runs kind of warm too.
198 is about as much as I get, and that was on the when we left our last Barlow trip.
Mhm.
It was about 100 and some odd degrees, and we're moving super slow.
Yeah,
And I was kind of looking at it. I'm like, oh, I've never seen it this high before. Even though I know I've heard that 210, 215 is typical for an
Yeah.
LS.
I think that
But
I've read that up to 230 on the truck is like fine, which is crazy sounding to me. And that's like always the internet comment is that's crazy. But go ahead.
no, that blows me away.
Yeah,
I
it's hot.
I would stop my truck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
on the
at
dunes,
215, I'm gonna be
I
like,
hit
oh, it's
220,
gonna
and
turn you off.
never seen it go to 220. Like I've never seen it even kiss 220 on the gauge, and it hit it and started surpassing it, and that's when I was like, okay, that's weird. So let off the gas.
I'm realizing now that Aaron, you're the only one here without an LS.
yeah, but he's already got a V8.
He has a
V8.
V8. Is it?
Yeah.
Is
And
it
it's a
far
Land Cruiser,
superior?
so.
I don't know.
No, God, no. Sorry, Aaron. I didn't mean to get
It's not.
in your way. They're smooth, and it's gonna run forever. So there's that.
Yeah, it's got the longevity, but yeah, as far as any power, no, it's a dog. It doesn't want to do a whole lot. It's just enough to move it, and that's about it.
Are you on 35s now? Is that what I saw at the
Close.
dunes? 30,
Not quite.
34.2.
We'll call them 34s, but I keep them clean.
Ah, nice. Full tread, clean. They're a 35. Well, dude, honestly, I didn't know that you had done that until I saw some of the social media posts from your guys' trip, and I felt a little offended you didn't say anything, but it looks fantastic.
Well,
It does
thank you.
look really good.
God dang it, it looks so good.
Thanks. Yeah, it turned out a lot better than I was picturing, but yeah, I took one out of Colin's playlist there to just go about my business, do my stuff, and then show up to one of our little outings with it. So,
Golf clap.
but yeah,
Do you-
Tyson totally helped me out with the bind of getting the shocks and the control arms put in. before that trip because our shop was being painted, and so we couldn't use it on the weekends to do the installs. And so I was hustling trying to figure out some way of getting it all put in before we went over to the coast. And so Tyson was able to help me out and get that done. And then I got the wheels were originally black, but I had Dave powder coat them that gray color.
Dave
Kind
one?
of who?
No,
Dave one or Dave?
no, Jesse,
No,
you don't know.
Dave
You don't
Kelly.
know this, Dave. Yeah,
Oh,
Mark II, Dave.
I don't know. There's a third Dave now, huh?
Yeah,
yeah.
Dave owns Northwest Wheel and Tire here in town and does tires and powder coating, and wheel
Okay,
repair. So
cool,
he powder coated them for me.
nice. Do
Yeah,
you
so
did you notice any difference on the dunes between those your new ones and your bald ass 31s?
not so much on the tires. It's the suspension that I am super happy with. Those old man emos were just horrible. You probably heard me complaining about them a lot, but finally got rid of those. I got the Dobinson IMS shocks, and yeah, dude, I'm super happy with them. Colin can attest that he said he's never heard any of my vehicles rub before. So when I came in, he could hear the tires rubbing. So I got a little more trimming and finessing to do to kind of clearance them a little bit more. But yeah, it just rides so much smoother, and it's just yeah, it's a lot more enjoyable.
Looks
Congratulations, man.
so good too.
Yeah.
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 Did-
More than anything, we all know that looks are really the key thing here.
Yes.
Look at.
That's
Remember,
rule one, right?
look cool,
Look
Cool.
have fun,
Mhm.
then
Yeah.
safety.
It's not safety. Safety
Not
is
safety
not second.
No.
Safety is third.
Yeah.
We don't have free healthcare here. Safety is third.
Yeah, we it was a good trip. Mike had his JK out there. I'll fill in for Mike since he couldn't make it today. And he seemed to have a good time. And he broke a track bar or something or a mount. But he ripped that little thing around the dunes, and man, JKs are just so good at that stuff. It's just no problem at all. We finally got on like Sunday or Monday, Sunday. On Sunday, we finally like actually went out in the dunes. I was really bummed to not have the Land Cruiser because usually the sand, because it's a white trash dream, is something that makes me do dumb stuff and try to climb things and drive in bowls with my giant SUV with a tent on top or whatever ridiculous thing I could find. And I didn't get that chance, but instead I rode with Mike, which was great. And then Colin, of course, ripped around in the Wagoneer with boatload of power and big tires and did fine. It was great.
Yeah. Did fine, except for in the big open choppy areas, like where everybody drives all over the place, and there's just like there's no wherewithal of like direction. As soon as I had to try and cross any of that chop, it was fucking terrible. It just like shook like crazy, and old truck, so it just rattles horribly, and I feel like the interior is gonna fall apart on me inside. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and not do it there. But when I was in like more of the areas that wasn't like that, where there was like more clear, not driven on, or just like clear path, like everybody kind of sticks to the same general area. It was great. It was super fun to blast it around little berms and shit like that. So
Did good. I was, like I said, very jealous.
Oh, did you tell? Oh, we didn't get into. Yeah, so Jesse, Sean was so jealous, in fact, of how well my car ran in comparison to his. He told me to shut my car off when we were
Oh my God.
sitting in this line to get out off the dunes to go to the race, and so he's got his laptop plugged into it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's run real nice, and blah, blah, your coolant looks good, and doing all this. Hey, can you shut it off for a minute?" So we were stopped in this line because someone had like on that like entry road, there's the fencing, the like wood fencing down the side of parts of it. Apparently someone on a side by side had like gotten caught in the fence somehow, and so it was like backed up because they were trying to get him off the fence. So we're like, okay, whatever. So that's when Sean decides, hey, can you shut it off for a minute? And oh, okay, sure. So I shut it off, and he's downloading my tune onto his computer so that he can try and put it on his car. And then we're sitting there. We ended up sitting there for almost 10 minutes because it was fucking downloading for so long. I'm like waving people by, even though the road's
and I didn't
open.
want to brick his ECU.
Like, hey, thanks, Sean.
To be clear, mainly I was trying to steal the transmission segment of your setup because I wasn't at that point sure what was wrong with mine. So now I know that I didn't need that.
That's right, because you both have 4L60s, right?
We do. Yeah. Yeah. And mine, like I was saying earlier, wasn't shifting. It was shifting just fine from first to fourth and then not really back down until you'd stop. I couldn't figure it out. And it was a dumb problem that I almost fixed when we were on our like air up on the way out. I was like, you know what? I should check this. I couldn't find a thing in HP tuners that would tell me if the for low switch wire thing was actually working or not. And I thought, I don't remember triple checking that wire. I'm not sure if I've got it hooked up right. But then I went, never mind. That's not it. Drove home. Everything was fine. And when I got home, I clipped that wire. And sure enough, that was the whole problem. Truck thought it was in 4-low. Drove like crap. Once you know what made me think that, Jesse? I saw your immediate reaction, which makes me think that you might have had the same thought I did. I put my truck into 4-low and it drove fantastic. And I was like, this is weird. I didn't expect it to drive so great in 4-low. Oh, whatever, I just move on with my afternoon or my evening. And then I just kept thinking about it and was like, I don't know. Maybe it's reverse polarity. Maybe I put that to power instead of ground. I don't know. Go through this whole thing, and sure enough, anyways, it's fixed now. It's so much better. It's like it's got 300 more horsepower. It is insanely better. Just driving it today, I was like, oh, great. Oh, that's the thing I was going to say pre-podcast. I went through this journey to get a new driveline, and it was a great journey. And I'm not going to talk about this company because I think they've been fantastic, and I don't want to throw them under the bus because I bragged about them so much to all of my friends. Ordered this driveline, so helpful over the phone, so awesome. Got it, packaged well, came in 2 days. Like, I cannot say enough about how awesome this driveline is. And I go to put it in, and it doesn't fit. I'm like, that's weird. Then I realize, oh, it's got a slip joint in it, right? And there's a packing like sleeve spacer that doesn't allow it to compress more. Okay, that's the problem. I pull that out, compress it all the way, still doesn't fit. Like, what the hell? All right, I remember it's 31 and 3/16 was the length. So I go check my invoice, 31.166 or whatever it is. Okay. I look at the tag on the driveline, 31 and 3/16. And I'm like, okay. Measure it, 32 and a half. I was like, what is going on? So I called them, and the guy was like, all right, well, can you measure just the upper tube, center of weld to center of weld? Yeah, sure. I measure it. It's whatever, 15 inches or something like that. And he just goes, well, we made a mistake. Someone has definitely built you a driveline that's at least an inch too long. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not crazy then. That's good news. So anyways, it's going to get sent out tomorrow. So now I'm 2-wheel drive, which is fun.
Hey, you're like calling me C.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah. I mean, I could put the front back in. It works in 4-wheel drive. It just doesn't work in 4-wheel drive with more than like 2 inches of articulation. I got a nice notch in the transpan already. So yeah. Which is why I couldn't drive in the dunes more than like 3 miles an hour. Nothing like a big built engine in your fresh build and only being able to go over. I think I've gone over speed bumps faster than I was going over the whoops. I definitely have. That's a dumb statement. Yes, I definitely have. But it was like driving a lowered car over a speed bump everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it was very interesting seeing you do that. So that's two firsts. I've never seen Sean drive like that on the dunes, which was docile and like very very timid, like first timer over here, everybody. And I've
Everybody, watch out.
and never, first time ever hearing any of Aaron's cars ever rub like that. It was amazing. Two firsts in the same trip. It's great.
Great fun.
I'm sad I missed it.
Yeah.
Next year,
Hopefully. I don't see why not.
maybe. Well, I got 40s now, so I better make
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, despite all of the naysayers on Facebook Marketplace, I got 40s. Traded straight across for my 37s.
I still can't believe you pulled that off. And they drive fine? Everything's good?
Oh yeah, they're 100% great. Like, so two of them, the two that he had on his rear, are like 95%. Then the two that he had on his front, he did not have his toe correct, so they're a little worn. But I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I got free 40s and better wheels. And
Oh yeah, you did get different wheels out of it. That's awesome.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know
I got
that they're
wheels that I like.
better, but they don't look terrible anymore.
Thank you. Yes, I
It's
will
just,
agree with that statement. Coming from the most wheel eccentric person, yes, they are not better.
They're less terrible.
They're just
They're less
not terrible. Yeah, they're not ugly anymore. They're just your standard, like, decent looking old truck wheel. Like, that's perfect. It's like your
They're the
version
old-
of the wheels I had on the Wagoneer when I got it. Like, that's all it
Yep.
is.
They're the pro comp old school wheel.
Yep, the
And
like
I'm happy
Pro
with
Comp
them.
aluminum soft eights or whatever you want to call it, which again is exactly
What they are.
was. That's exactly what was on the Wagoneer. It's just that mine had like a crazy high offset, or I should say, crazy low offset.
Low. Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of wheels, we were sitting there at the dunes, and Mike looks at me and goes, "Hey, Aaron, I'm noticing that your truck's the only one that doesn't have method wheels on it." And I said, "That's right, Mike. Hey, guess what, Mike? You're the only one here that doesn't have a V8 either."
That was a good joke. I liked that.
Could you imagine if that son of a bitch had a V8 in that thing?
Oh,
It'd be I still would have ridden with him. I was gonna say I wouldn't ride with him, but I'd still ride with him. But God, it'd
Yes, you would have.
be a lot sketchier.
Yeah.
God damn,
Yeah.
I hate Jeeps, but you know what? Gotta
It
give
makes
to the
sense.
JK.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does. It does really well.
It's a turnkey.
Even with that crappy 3.8, it's like, it's not fast, but it still does what he needs it to do. There was one time we went up this like very mild dude. I mean, like one of these, like a whatever that degree is. And he's like, I'm going to shift down into first. Oh, can't shift into first. I'll go into second. And then it just went, brrr, and it like ran out of power before it ran out of traction.
It was so funny, man.
And I can't even imagine what it looked like from the outside.
Oh, it looked so
Yeah, it had to be
pathetic.
the most pathetic thing. Yeah.
So pathetic.
Because him and I are just like, oh man, and it felt in there. He's like sawing at the wheel, it's this whole thing, and I'm like, we're going like 6 miles an hour right now, and just it was bad.
The
And
best
then
part was that side by side that like went around you to go up that dune. So he went out of his way
Yep.
to go around and then up over the top, and then stops at the top and watches you guys too. So it was just like,
Yep.
not only were you embarrassing yourselves in front of me and Aaron, it was also some random guy in a side by side watching you and just shaking his head.
yeah, it was bad.
Hey, you know what? Fuck that side by side.
Oh, he probably had a stupid flag anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably had stupid flags with stupid like little lighty whips on them.
Oh, all of them. If you don't have a lighted whip out there, you're nobody. It's basically the way it is.
Sell your side by side, get a short wheelbase, and quit being a ding dong.
I mean, honestly, if I was going to the dunes all the time, I would definitely pick a side by side. It makes the most sense.
No.
Like rails are cool, and like those ridiculous Glamis buggies are cool, but like realistically, a slightly modified Can-Am is just way too much fun.
Okay.
This is just like the orthopedic shoe versus Vans comment. All right, it's the right tool for the job. It's not the coolest looking tool, but it is the right tool for the job.
It's not the right tool for the job. Like
It sure is.
It's an overpriced short wheelbase. Like
Short wheelbase what?
Okay.
Compare it to a Jeep,
okay.
please, so I can tell you about the power to weight ratio between 200 horsepower and 1,300 pounds and 190 horsepower and 4,000 pounds.
Okay, so how much does a Can-Am sell for right now? Like if you want to go out
anywhere from whatever 20 something to 40.
Okay, how much did your Land Cruiser cost, including a
That's not a question for on the air.
The point being is that for 20 grand, you could build a far superior and building your own rig and have that satisfaction.
No, if it was just for the sand, I would every time pick a Can-Am over mine, especially right now, because I have base Can-Am money into it probably. And yes, I have 3 times the power, maybe, but I don't have 3 times the usable power, and I've got about half the suspension travel.
Especially
and
on the
yes,
sand.
It has a tent and 3 seats, but like it's not as usable. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Dunes for dunes.
Saying, like,
no.
Just straight
off-road vehicle for off-road vehicle? Yeah, I'd probably take mine for sure. If it was just like overall.
I'll pick adversity over.
Oh man,
I don't know, man. Those like we talked about. So we had this conversation on the dunes actually, and it got even more serious of a conversation after Aaron's coworker and his sons came by our camp, and we told them, "Oh yeah, fucking, if we give you the wave, like blast by, like go as fast as you can down this road." And they were like, "Oh, we'll do it. Like, don't threaten us with a good time." We're like, "Oh, we're threatening you. Like, go do it." And from there on out, every time we could tell when it was them coming by, even in the dark, because they were going so fast, and it was ridiculous. Trust me, a $20,000 build is not going that fast through that area that we were parked at. And we had the conversation of, we all are car people, and we know like the limit of what our vehicles can do. And so we ease off in certain situations and, to make it so that I'm not going to break it. In a side-by-side, I feel like I would have way too much confidence, and I would just never let off. Like, it would just be like, what's the worst that could happen? I'm going to go really fast over this whoop and it's going to soak all of it up. What do I care? Like, I would crash it so fast because there is that, like, there's just that whatever, it's built to do all of this. And yeah, I mean, that dude with the friggin' and it was one of the 4-seater Can-Ams, his son that was driving it, wow, that was fast. Like, he went by faster than that Ultra 4 car went by us. Like, and this Ultra 4 car, Jesse, there was 2 of them there. They were really cool. But this Ultra 4 car was fucking badass. And the Can-Am was absolutely going way faster than he was going. Like,
yeah,
it's wild.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, the only thing that you could buy vehicle-wise would be some sort of buggy or like a 1450 truck. Like that's the only thing in the sand, right? That's it, in the sand, that you could do that. Sand.
Yeah.
if we're talking about rocks or we're talking about regular over or like off-roading stuff, sure. There's a lot of cars that'd be way more fun. Like I'd rather drive Aaron's 100 series up Edison than I would an X3 Can-Am, because it's got air conditioning and it's kind of challenging and it's capable, but it's not over capable. It'd be fun. Like, that's more fun to me than trying to mash a Can-Am up it, which would still be fun, but it'd be dusty and messy. So I like that less. But
I just can't constitute spending that kind of money on
Jesse, how much do you think your crawler would cost the average Joe to build that doesn't have fab skills? Like, you at a shop.
Too much.
Okay. Let's just move right on now then.
And the crawler's only good
much.
for crawling, so.
But also my crawler is, yes, a trailer princess, just like a Can-Am is. But I'd still pick the crawler.
But at least it's faster, right? Oh no, it's not.
Oh wait,
That's
no,
right.
it's not.
God,
No,
are you kidding?
Shoot.
At least it's better in the. Oh no, it's better in the rocks, probably.
Yes.
100% better in the rocks.
But I bet
When is the last time you saw a Can-Am on 40s?
I've seen them on 37s. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
They do those like
They look
37
crazy.
1150s.
And how many CVs do they blow up?
I don't think they have CV problems. I think it's belts.
Yeah,
But
it's belts.
I don't know. I think they're like gearing wise. I think they're wonky in like really slow technical stuff, right? Because you're using a CVT type clutch thing, and that's not ideal. But it's ideal for going fast in the whoops.
Yeah.
Portals, yeah.
Portals.
Yeah.
Just put the portals on for the crawling.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, and for your tracks for the winter.
Yep, there you go. See?
I don't know. I'm not a Can-Am. I'm not a side-by-side person.
No.
It does not.
We get what you're saying, Jesse, but the argument it doesn't fly, because it's for a purpose-built sand rig. You're not gonna get better than what those are. Not for that kind of money. Not for like, it's just there's no way.
Get on the fucking dunes and go.
That'd be a fun challenge, though, to like say, hey, here's the base price of a mid-level side-by-side, whatever, $30,000. Can you make something that can outperform it with that budget? It'd be hard to do, I think. It would be less hard, I think, for someone that does a lot of fab, right? Because if you can take that, we talked about this like the last episode about like, if you can take the budget of the fab shop out of the equation, maybe. But if you'd have to pay somebody to build you a suspension that could do that and it could actually outperform it, I mean, I think your best bet would be used Raptor and a supercharger or something. Like, maybe some shocks and a used Raptor. That's the only thing I could think of that can do it. Because, okay, bench race it. Let's hear it.
I will secede to that statement. I will secede to that. But I will still take adversity and the fact that I can drive my rig away.
Sure. Again, that's the thing, though. Like, yes, 100%. It's not a regular vehicle unless you live in Idaho or Arizona or Utah or whatever. But like, and even then, nobody's really daily driving them. They're like, yes, you could drive it to work if you want, but like, probably not. But like, it's like, that part aside, I don't think so. I think it wins, and I hate it, like, because believe me, I would rather have a truck most of the time, but that's what they're good at. I don't know.
Yep. There's a reason there's so many of them out there.
Jesse, you look so disappointed. Now I feel really bad.
Yeah. It's not like we're going to buy them. We're just saying, like,
he's like, oh my god, I lost you all.
Yeah, we're all trading our rigs in for them.
If you guys get side by sides, I'm fucking leaving. This group is done.
All I can see is
out of here.
I'm gonna call this right now. If we were all to get side by sides, Jesse would show up on a 3-wheeler. He'd be like, hey, look, this is what I got. 3-wheeler on top of the Suburban. Be the thing.
What would be the thing? You
Really
failed,
that bad?
None of us heard any of that.
Ah,
I heard
catch that.
I heard suburban, and that was it.
I
mean,
said that if
it'll
we
sound
all got
great
side
on
by
regular,
sides,
Uh-huh.
yeah, except for no one will laugh, and I thought it was funny. If we all got side by
Say
sides,
it again. I'll cut it
Jesse,
together.
I'm trying. If we were to all get side by sides, Jesse would get a 3-wheeler. That is how this would work.
100%.
See,
Are you
that's
kidding?
the reaction that I was looking for. And then I said he would show up while we have our side by sides, and he would have it on the roof of the Suburban. It'd just be 3-wheeler on, or inside. Inside would be so
it'd
much
be-
better.
I
mean,
could,
you guys see
I could
this
see
room
it
right
either
here.
on the roof or I could see it. He just has just the front wheel in, on the back of the
hang it.
Suburban, and the back wheels are just bouncing along behind it.
Yeah.
No. It'd be on top of the truck with the top of the Suburban with the snacks.
Yeah, with the snacks.
Yeah.
I can't
Those
use
are
it.
not
Please
for the
stop.
road.
God. Okay. Well, so there is another camp trip coming up, right?
Yep.
Are you coming over for this, Jesse? Is this a thing that you're going to do? No,
I was
no,
not
Jesse.
able to make it.
It's always a tough one. There's something about September that gets tricky for people because it's like back to school and maybe work is changing a little bit. The season's changing. There's always the thing, but,
I'm jealous because Owyhee is like,
oh, it's such a good spot.
God, it's one of my favorite places. That and the Ochocos. Honestly, it's two of my favorite places in Oregon.
I don't love the Ochocos that much. I think it's okay, but it's not my favorite.
I love the Ochocos because it just feels like, I don't know, it's cowboy country. And he just leaves. He's just like, you know what? Fuck this
He didn't
guy.
even want to hear it. It's like, I've had it up to
He's like,
here.
I'm
with
out
the
of here.
Ochocos.
Cowboys.
I'm not doing it.
No, I like the Ochocos. I love those big pines. I think it's just a beautiful piece of the state. So, but I'm very jealous of your guys' trip. You're going to I can't remember the name of it, Colin, and you're gonna have to remind me of it. But there's that really cool canyon that runs in northeastern Oregon there. It's kind of
No.
one of the bigger. No, you're not going there.
No, that's so. So that road, I know what canyon you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it either. I could probably pull it up pretty quickly, but so the way that all of that is positioned is that particular canyon is on the like very southeast side, and it's a road in and back out, and that's it. And it's like it's a maintained forest road that just leads into like a boat ramp essentially, and that's it. So it is a really cool road because of that particular canyon. And if anybody wants to fill while I friggin' look it up, but no, it's the complete opposite side of where we're gonna be.
Okay.
Timber
No,
Gulch.
There
Oh,
it is.
that's-
Timber Gulch.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that this evening. I'd love to check that out sometime.
It is really cool,
It's
but
on the list.
it's just like where we're going is it's actually in the river canyon area, not that like canyon that runs into the reservoir basically. And the problem with that road is it's, like I said, it's so far out southeast that you're almost to Idaho before you cut back west to come into the reservoir, and then you just get to turn around and drive that whole thing all the way back. There's really not a link to get out of there and like adventure around anything else neat or anything like that. It's like pavement, maintained forest road, out and back to pavement. Like it's it'd be great for like a, hey, we're driving by to something else, and we just go out and check it out and like had lunch or something, and then come back. Um, but yeah, this one, which so Aaron and Luke and I, we went out there for the very first, adventure around that area, and then Sean kind of mimicked the route because he got the route from Luke and went out there and did it on his own, with his lady friend, and and we're gonna be in that same area, but a little different. So the podcast where we talked about the Canadians who were wrong about safety, it's kind of a modified version of the Owyhee that they did. So we're gonna come in. We have to drive all the way out to Vail, not Colorado. Uh, the Vail that's in Oregon.
Not the comedian.
We're going, yeah, not the comedian. And then from there, drive south, and we kind of like drive south, and it's like side by side with the reservoir, and then comes into the river just south of the reservoir. And then we can drive along the river, and we have to ford the river 3 times.
Oh, is it where that narrow spot is?
Yeah. Well,
It's on the Canadians video.
yeah, so their problem was, and it's funny, like I have a really hard time understanding how I see a ton of videos that like when people are out there and they don't understand that the road doesn't go all the way through, and they owe everyone for some reason goes too far and is like, oh shit, we can't go any further than this because the road's literally out. Like it's completely, there's like a cliff edge, and it had like a landslide, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago that blocked the road. So you can't go all the way through. And somehow everyone gets into this narrow spot that not very many people drive down unless you're on like a quad, basically, maybe a side by side, Jesse. And then and then they got to figure out how they're going to turn around and come back to where you cross the river. So maybe it'll happen to us because I'll just miss the turn. I mean, I have missed turns in my day, but I have it marked pretty clearly on my maps. But yeah, so we're gonna drive along the river. We're gonna camp on the river, and then so Sean and Aaron will know where this spot is. I think Sean ended up going to it as well. But once we get out to the end of that kind of like canyon run, we're gonna get out up on top by the big lava flow that's up there, and then go to the camp, Aaron, that we camped at the second night. So back down into that big gulch on that cool ridge road down onto the like sandy rock beach that there is along the river there. And so that'll be,
That's the one that's near that like abandoned homestead area,
it's
right
further
there.
up the road. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you kind of come up to that road, and it's like a cliff edge, and then you just drive off the cliff down the ridge road. It's a really, that road
It's really
itself
cool.
is really, really neat. So
It's dramatic looking too.
yeah, it's one of those. I'm curious about how much time it's gonna take.
A
Because
lot.
it's such a mixed bag of reviews as far as like how long it takes people to get to certain areas and whatnot. And I know how long it's taken us to drive through some of it, but I believe we'd be able to get everything done that I'm shooting for getting done. And we could come in from the Rome side also. It'd be probably a little shorter, easier from that side, but I didn't want to leave the last day to be the day that we have to like do a ton of miles, because so from Vale into the area that we'll camp in for the first night, it's 60 miles and it's mostly unknown, BLM road type deal. So it's that section is going to probably take the most time just getting into camp. And that's why I figured if we did it on the first day, then we're in the area, and then we get to adventure around in the area on day 2 camp, and then we can get out of there for the last day. So, and then maybe we'll visit.
It is a long haul.
Pillars of Rome. Yeah,
that's a cool spot.
Yeah, I mean it's just neat to drive by it because it's so close to the road, so it's like worth driving past and just looking at it at least. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll probably have to get gas in Rome because reasons.
It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Just got a small tank and a 5.3.
Yeah, and 37s and tall gears and. Yeah. Any questions from the peanut gallery that's going to be joining us, or?
So you think this is probably not of any interest to anybody that's listening to this, but just while I'm thinking about it so I don't forget it,
you're probably wrong.
You're 60 miles away from Vale on that first night on Friday.
Correct.
Man, is there service out there?
I doubt it.
Man, that's going to be... Okay.
I mean, in Vale, I'm sure, but I think by the time we got down in the canyon, I don't think there's any. I mean, I remember we used Luke's satellite radio to listen to, what was it? Wasn't it a Beavers football game or something like that when we were out there?
I think so.
Seems right.
We listened to like a Blazer game the first night, and then a Beavers game the next night.
That's great.
Yeah, but yeah, it's according to this. Yeah, it's just under 60 miles from like downtown Vale.
Vale.
Yeah, into the area where we're camping, and it's gonna be dirt. I would say within 10 miles. So it's probably it's probably only 10 miles of pavement, and then it's going to be gravel road of an unknown maintenance wise and all that. And then the actual road isn't super long. I think the actual road, along the river, is only 12 miles. And then from that into camp is another 12, I think. Yeah, 13. So.
Okay.
So we're really, second day, we're really only going to be shooting for 30 miles. I feel like we can manage that in a day. Hopefully it's not like a super long trying to get to the Alvord type day, but Mike's not bringing the RV, so I think, or at least so far, he says he's not bringing the RV, so might not have too much adversity on the way there, hopefully.
Well, never know. It might rain.
Yeah, it's going to rain the whole drive out there.
Don't put that evil on us, Sean.
Yeah, damn it.
I'm just thinking about solo river crossing at night. Sounds fantastic.
You won't be doing any river crossing. If you're coming out a little bit after us, you won't be crossing any river until day 2. So you won't have to worry about
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep in touch and I'll. Okay. Cool. Easy deal then. Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if there was anything else to go over.
Jesse, did you think of anything
Colin's
else
list.
off of your list?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, we can just finish it with the same way we started.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
I got some problems here.
It's fun sitting on the sideline there for a little bit and listening to people talk about you and not being able to, yell back like, I have good taste. The Lexus GX is fucking sweet, man.
We had to wait
The
weeks
Land
to find
Cruiser.
this out. Because it's not like he's going to tell us
Land
that
Cruiser.
on his own. He's going to wait
No.
all the way up till now to let
Write
us
it
know
down.
that he
Think
does
about it.
like
It's going to let
the
it
new GX.
just
I
stewing
do like
over
the
it for
new
weeks.
GX. Golly, I do like it.
But you
Better than
hate
the Land Cruiser.
side by sides.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
but
side by
hates
side.
side by side. It's got it. Yep.
All hail adversity.
Yes. I want to
you
do
go.
it the hard way.
It's like the new T-shirt. It's the unnecessary adversity. Sometimes it's okay. I don't know. Come on. I like to build it. I like to be a part of it. Side by side, you just buy the damn thing and you go out there and do it.
I mean, you can build a side by side too. They got long arm, even longer arms than they already have, and bigger suspension and shit like that.
Different
Yeah, maybe
cages.
Make
I'm
them
sure-
even
I'm sure that-
better than what you think that you could build a good sand car.
Yeah, but I'm not a sand guy. Oh, well, I'm a salty son of a bitch, but you know what? I don't know. Side by sides are still not my thing, man. Sell them.
That's okay.
Just sell your side by side.
They're-
Get out of here.
They're not our
Get
thing
outta
either.
here.
It's just purpose built.
That's right.
It is purpose built. I get it. I'll secede to that point, like I said. But you know what? Sell your side by side. Grow whatever pair of ovaries or balls, whatever you want to
Whatever you're
conform
choosing.
to, whatever you're choosing, and build your own shit. Get out there and enjoy it.
Yeah, we just
Or
found
if
a
you have 30
super rusty chimney you could turn into a sand car, right?
Ugh.
You could turn anything into a sand car. If it's rusty as
Yeah.
shit, it's sandy.
I wish I would have taken a picture of that car that we saw when we were leaving to go to the races. What was that, like a 70s Nova or something that we saw right there at the entrance? It was all white, had no hood on it. Paddles.
I don't remember.
Oh. Yes.
No hood adds like 10 horsepower.
Oh, easy. Yeah, all those cooling
Big
problems you were
badass.
talking about?
Yeah, dude.
No more.
Right out the window.
Oh man, there's your problem, Colin. Just get
Yeah,
rid of your cooling
take the
problems
hood off.
by pulling the hood off.
Yeah, that's the old roadkill trick. It's overheating a little bit. Let's just pull the hood.
Yeah. Well, I'd probably end up doing the Clarkson though, and just flipping it up and cutting a hole so that I
Cut a
can
hole.
view through it.
Genius.
Shit. Well, I guess that's a podcast, huh?
Yep.
That is the podcast, apparently.
I mean, we're at an hour 7 on just this recording, so I know it's you guys probably
No,
show
we're
longer.
hour 23.
Yeah. See. So.
Yeah, same.
Yep.
Hour 23, because
And
yeah,
plus-
you missed out on a little bit.
Yep. So, I can't wait to listen to it. Twice. Instead of hey, finally, I don't have to listen to the podcast 3 times. It's gonna be great. I only have to listen to part of it 3 times. The other part,
Okay.
I'll be hearing it twice. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh,
There you
hey,
go.
I'm going to go eat some dino nuggets. I'll see y'all later.
Can you stay on the pod for that? Actually, I'd prefer if you just did that here.
If you want, I'll open up my door and I'll take a piss right
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that? Oh, shit. I'll shut the door.
Wow. That is quite the noise.
Dude,
Compounding.
I love this thing to death. This thing is the best thing that's happened in my off-road world. Rig world.
Yeah. I gotta say,
Did you see the space?
there is something to be said about stupid old rigs, because I very quickly fell in love with the Wagoneer as well. Not, I mean, and as I've mentioned to you guys, all of you before, like I've loved Wagoneers for forever, and like getting to use it the way I've been using it and stuff, like right away, the second I freaking bring it home, basically, um, it's it's got a lot of flaws, but shit,
Yeah.
it's way too cool. Like it is,
Yeah.
it's so much fun. Like yeah, I miss certain aspects of the Range Rover, but man, I I fucking love that thing.
God, I wanted to hear all that.
Yeah.